Hi and welcome back. I'm real excited today to take you on a tour of my own personal coach. What's so exciting to me is I get to walk you through step by step and show you that, over the years as we've talked to you and explained to everybody what we feel should go into a coach, I think some people might think that maybe it's just standard salesman talk, but I want to assure you that, everything that we've been putting in our coaches are the same things that we would use on our own personal coach. And today I get that chance to walk you through this beautiful coach and share all the upgrades that we've done. I've owned several coaches over the years, and I think this coach has really come about as close to perfection as we can get. The only reason that I've decided to sell it is we're going to be touring the country with our race car, and we now need to run a big stacker trailer, so we're going to be moving up to a tandem axle coach, and that's really the only reason we've decided to sell this thing. Well, enough about that. Let's go ahead and begin the tour, and I'll start here with the entry step. And I've said it before on a lot of coaches, but everything about Renegade and quality kind of starts right here. The first thing you'll notice when you step on the powered electric door steps is that they're not cheap and flimsy. I'm 6 foot, 240 pounds. When I step on this step, it's sturdy and it's strong. Then as you move up into the stairwell, you can see that we've done porcelain tile, and this just isn't any tile. We hand selected this tile. This is something that you won't find in any other Renegade coach. This is Iris French wood flooring. We really like the wood grain look on it. We went with a lighter flooring to help it maybe not show dirt so much. But this is a great shot to show the boot step. As you can see under the bottom stair there's room to put your boots. Real important to me to come in with dirty shoes and to be able to kick them off underneath there. You'll also notice the LED lights lighting the way as you enter up the stairway. As we go through this coach, I hope you really can see the quality and all of the effort that was put forth into building the best coach we can. After owning many coaches, having a large counter space was very important to my wife. As you can see here, we had a really long counter installed in the coach. We're going to come back and talk about that. As we move around, you can see there's a nice place to kick back in the evening on the recliner. Something we're really proud of is this floor plan. We sketched this entire plan from the ground up and created our own, which has really evolved into the IWS Signature series, something we're just extremely proud of. As we move around into the living quarters, you can see we went with large picture windows instead of having smaller windows with dividers in them. We like the idea of being able to look out a nice clean window. We did overhead cabinets over the top of the flex steel sofa. I've said it before, I think the flex steel furniture is just about the best you can get. It's extremely comfortable, very functional. Here you can see the sofa. We put 3 seat belts in it so we can pack our kids with us on trips. You'll also see that this sofa folds out into a full air mattress. It's really nice to be able to have something comfortable. A lot of coaches just have a fold-out bed, but this is actually a very comfortable fold-out air mattress. I also want to point out that the fabric in here was all custom ordered by us through the Ultra Leather Brisa Distressed line. It's something that we got exclusively for this coach, so we didn't build a run-of-the-mill coach with run-of-the-mill colors. Everything is hand selected. Here we're going to show you the different lighting elements. This coach is equipped with LED floor lighting. There's accent lighting in all of the windows. There's reading lights, and it's really nice to have all these different lighting elements to set the mood. You can see the Renegade booth dinette here. There's nice slide out trays to give you lots of storage in them. And storage is just something many people say you can't even get enough of, but this place, we almost kind of got lost with all the storage compartments. You can see here underneath the dinette, we put in extra 110 outlets so you can each have a place to plug in your laptop, because it's really nice to sit at the dinette and do some work in the evenings while the kids are off playing. You'll also notice on the windows that we didn't use fabric balances. We like the optional all smooth wood look over the top of the windows. I really think it just adds a level of elegance to the coach. Here you can see our recliner, and I want to take just a moment and talk about it. This is the one piece of furniture that we decided to not use the flex steel on. This is a Lambeth recliner, and what we like about it is, one, it has a really tall back for taller people, but more importantly, it's an actual wall-away recliner, so you can put it right up against the wall, and then it also swivels and moves back and forth. So we order this specially built, bring them in with our coaches and put them in because we feel it's the absolute best recliner we can put in our coaches. You can also see the counter to the left is a nice place to set your cell phone, your drink, and remote control when you're watching TV. Just a really nice place to kick back. Here you can see the overhead cabinets over the top of the recliner. We also mounted lights up underneath them so you'd have a nice reading light. Now we're going to move over to the 18 cubic foot residential refrigerator. You can see the lock there that locks the door so they don't open. Really don't know, a whole lot more to say about this refrigerator other than it has a nice freezer on the bottom, lots of storage in it, just a very nice fridge. Now as we move around into the kitchen area, you can really see what I was talking about having tons of storage area. This coach just has storage everywhere you want to look. From the slide out pantries that you can see here, I also want to point out that you'll see here that there's all dovetailed construction throughout. I've said it in video after video, but Renegade's craftsmanship on the cabinets is second to none. Now here's where we made a little bit of a departure from our norm. Me and my wife both were big fans of the gas stove or gas cooktop, but once we started using the true induction cooktop, everything's changed for us. And it's nice because when you use a regular gas cooktop, you kind of lose this space as storage. And I know you can put covers over the top of them, but when you go to a flat surface cooktop like this, it really just opens up the whole countertop to you. Not only that, after using the true induction, we really become fans of how nice it is to cook with. Now we're going to move up to the convection microwave. This is a 1.5 cubic foot residential style microwave with convection oven in it. Absolutely love this thing. You can cook a pizza in it, you can cook biscuits in it, you can bake bread in it. We just really love it. In fact, we love it so much we added one in our own home at our house. Just can't say enough good about this. And as you can see, it's not some cheap, flimsy little microwave that you would find in most RVs. This is a residential style microwave. I also want to point out that it's ducted and vented to the outside, something you won't find on an average coach. As we pan across the tiled backsplash, you'll notice that we installed two 110 outlets. Everything that we did on this coach was about convenience and choices to make things more user-friendly and to enjoy it out on the road. Will one 110 outlet work? Absolutely. But then you're always compromising. When you have two, you get a choice of where you want to put the toaster or where you want to put the coffee pot. If you'll notice right here above the sink, we had extra lights put up underneath the kitchen cabinets, so there'd be lots of light there. And it's nice to be able to turn the lights on or off in different areas of the coach, almost like as if you were at home. When it comes to the cabinetry, if you just look at the woodwork right here above the sink, you can see that there's just absolutely no detail left unturned. Renegade's craftsmen are just absolutely second to none, and that's why we chose them as the coach line that we carry, as well as for my own coach. Now as we move over to the sink, and something as simple as the sink, having a nice deep sink and a full residential style faucet with a pull-out wand on it, it just makes staying on the road a lot more convenient. In the early days we were dealing with small RV sinks and small RV faucet and chintzy products that just broke all the time. With this coach right here, you're getting everything is just top quality. You just can't really reach out and buy anything better. I'm so proud to show and so proud to share with you guys and really show you that RV lifestyle can be just absolutely incredible, especially if you have the right kind of products in your coach to really take advantage of everything that a coach has to offer. Now we're going to move forward and talk a little bit about the television. As you can see, this is a large 43-inch LED TV, but something that we've done to this coach that you won't find in most other dealers is that we upgraded the television swing arm to a longer 25-inch reach arm so that the TV will reach out further into the cabin area. You know, these are little things that most people, when you just look at a picture, you don't even realize how hard it is we're working behind the scenes. You know, we hand select the swing arm mount for the TV and pick the brand, and then we sent that to Renegade and said, hey, here's the swing arm that we want on our coaches, and these are the reasons why. You can also see we had coat hangers installed over the doorway, and the reason we put them right here is so that if you come inside and your coat's wet, you can hang them up and the water's going to drip down onto the stairwell. On this coach, we installed the Carefree awning, which is the 2-stage awning, and we'll go over that in detail on the outside video, but we wanted to show you the controller and what they look like. Here's the controller for the ceiling fans. You have a high and low setting. Another thing I want to point out, you know, we've installed on the outside of this coach 5 high-powered LED lights, and you can call them security lights, area lights, whatever you want, but the really nice thing about them is if you hear a bump in the night, you can flip all 3 of these switches in one motion to high beam, and you're going to illuminate 360 degrees around the coach. I'm going to say for probably 300 feet away. But I also really want to draw your attention to the fact that at IWS Motor Coaches, we label each switch. And that's just something that you just can't find in most places. But for me and my family, it's very important to be able to know which switch does what. And I want that same effort put forth in coaches that we build for you. Here you can see as we go through the rest of the lights, there's an awful lot of light switches on these coaches, and we label every one of them, so you'll always know where you're at and what's going on. Now as we move up into the overhead consoles, we're going to go up on the driver's side overhead console and look inside. Here on the bottom we've installed the IWS gaming package. And what we did is we had Renegade pre-install a 110 outlet, RCA jacks, and an HDMI. So if you want to run an Xbox or a PlayStation, everything's pre-wired. You just plug it in and set it here, and then it'll play through the TV in the main living quarters. If you'll look to the right, we also installed a WeBoost roof-mounted cell phone booster to try to help you get bigger cell signal when you're driving down the road. This isn't no cheap unit. This has a large powered antenna mounted on the roof of the coach, and the wiring's all ran down here. It's just a great addition to any coach. Now as we move into the upper shelf, you'll see that coax cable coiled up. And what we did here is, because I'm always in remote areas, we mounted a satellite antenna on the roof for your satellite cell phone. So if you want to be inside of your coach and use your satellite phone, you just connect your phone to this antenna and you'll have great coverage. Now as we look in the top of that cabinet, you'll see the additional air conditioning vent that we had Renegade install in there. Just in the event that you do use a Xbox or a PlayStation, it'll get adequate cooling from extra air conditioning. Now we're going to move into the center console and talk about the control center on this coach. One of the things I want to point out is that we worked real hard with the Renegade engineers to make sure that all the control panels were mounted down low so they were at eye level when you're standing up. So if you're programming your auto gen start or your thermostat, it's real easy to see the digital buttons as they rotate through. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these because we can go through this in detail on our Advantage videos. But starting up at the left, you can see the WeBoost controller for the cell phone booster. Then we have the generator start button. The next panel over is where all the functions are. Water pump switch, which we also added another one in the bathroom of the coach. You got your storage lights for all your storage compartments, the holding tank heaters. If it's winter, you can turn them on. You can choose electric or propane for the water heater. When we build our coaches, we try to put in a dual source water heater so you can choose electric or propane. Then we have the slide out controls are mounted in here, as well as the generator restart. And what that is if for some reason the batteries on your generator go dead, you can start the truck coach, hold that button in, and the truck batteries will override the generator batteries to start the generator. Then you can see the generator auto start controller here. And then of course the last feature on this coach is the digital thermostat. For some reason I've been having a hard time saying that during this video, but again, it's very easy to program the air conditioners and the thermostats. On this coach we did install 3 air conditioners. Not that I think it needs it, because we did our IWS Arctic insulation package, but I wanted to have 3 air conditioners. You know, the old adage, those that work hard play hard, and I thought, boy, if I ever lost an air conditioner, I want a redundant backup. Very rarely would we ever use 3 air conditioners. Really, the only time we ever used 3 is when we were maybe away from the coach and came back and forgot to turn the air conditioners on. We might use all 3 just to get it up to temperature really quickly, but just an absolutely dream coach to live in from a heating and cooling standpoint. And don't be intimidated by all these controls. You know, when you buy this coach, we're going to arm you with a IWS iPad with our IWS Advantage package. We have little mini videos that are programmed in your iPad, so it'll walk you through how to use each one of these controls. We're going to spend as much time with you learning these controls. We'll pre-program it. You know, we can program your generator to start when the battery voltage gets low. We can program it to come on at certain times of the day. Heck, we can even program the generator to start, you know, when the inside of the coach gets to 75 degrees, and then we can tell the air conditioners to come on automatically at 77 degrees. Now we're going to move up into the entertainment console of this coach, and as you can see, Renegade's installed an Onkyo home entertainment center. This is just a fantastic sound system. Everything runs through this with the single programmed remote that we've done here at IWS for this coach. You can also play Bluetooth through it right off of your cell phone or your iPad. You'll also notice above it we have the infrared reader for our all-in-one remote. Has the Winegard Traveler satellite system on top, so this is not an in-motion. So the thing is, if you use an in-motion satellite, you're only going to pick up one satellite. By going with this Winegard Traveler, it's a full motorized satellite antenna that deploys itself right out of the roof. It's a lot like what you would see a news truck using. And when this thing goes up in the air, it's going to lock onto 3 different satellites. And with this particular system, I think it's the best system on the market. You'll be able to get all of your DirecTV in high definition, but more importantly, you'll be able to use a DVR with it. And so what we do is we film shows, and then as we're driving down the road, the kids will watch them back in DVR mode without using the satellite. So it worked out really well for us. Also on the right, you'll notice there's the Blu-ray DVD player. And then on the top, there's DirecTV receivers. Now, them are mine, but we did want to leave them in while we're demoing the coach so you can see how easy everything works. Also want to point out that there's an additional air conditioning vent up inside of this compartment to help keep everything cool. Now we're going to move into the cabin area, or the chassis of this 2017 Cascadia chassis. A lot of people have asked me to kind of slow down and walk you through it, and I'm going to do my best here. I know it looks like there's an awful lot of gauges and a lot going on, but I can assure you, after you drive this thing a few miles, it just becomes very second nature. So as we go through the gauges, I'm not going to dissect each and every gauge, but starting down here on the left, you can see the big triangle. That's your hazard lights. To the left of it is your high and low dimmer switches for your gauges. Then to the right of that is the step well, so when you push that button, there's a light that illuminates down by your feet where the control or the brake and throttle controls are. There's a high-low exhaust brake switch, but I also want to point out that you can turn that on and off on the steering wheel as well. It has exhaust regeneration on it, traction control, then there's menu buttons, mirror heaters, utility lamps, that's for the rear backup lights. Then we installed the driving light switch, so we mounted LED lights up in the front bumper, off-road lights I might add. Then moving up, you can see the wireless tire pressure monitor that we've installed, which not only shows the tire pressure of each, or the air in each tire, it also shows you the temperature of each tire. And as we move up, you'll see air gauges in there. Then you'll see the Roadmaster red light, and on this coach I flat towed my full-size Chevy pickup behind it, so we left the brake controller and everything in it so you can flat tow your vehicle. Then we have a large rocker switch. You can switch the view between the backup camera or a camera on the back of your trailer if you want. Then we have the strobe light switch. So on this coach we installed front strobe lights in the front and strobe lights in the rear, and strobed all the marker lights. And the reason I did that is, this year up in Edmonton, we were in a big rainstorm going down the freeway, and the freeway came to a complete stop, and I just reached up and hit that switch, and really set off a big warning to all motorists that we'd stopped right in the middle of the road. And maybe it comes from my towing days, but having strobe lights is very soothing and very important to me from a safety aspect. This coach is also equipped with limited slip differentials. When you flip the locking switch over, it locks both the driver's side and passenger side duals together as one. Normally when you're driving down the road they would be unlocked, but if you get into a stuck situation, you just flip that interlocker and it locks both drive wheels together. Then you can see it has air parking brakes, which is the yellow button, and the red button you would only use if you have a stacker trailer or a trailer with air brakes behind it. Then you can see the large Alpine stereo, and that's something we install here. The standard Renegade screen is 6.5 inches, and we've upgraded to the 7-inch Alpine. Like I said, as I get older, it's hard to see. Has full navigation in it. But we went a step further, and we call this our Rockstar stereo. I have a bunch of young guys that work here, and I asked them to really upgrade the stereo, and they said, "What do you want me to sound like?" And I said, "I want it to sound like a rock star would want." So we upgraded all of the speakers. We upgraded the amplifier. This stereo just sounds beautifully crisp. I mean, whether you're listening to classical or a good old 80s song, this is just a great stereo that the guys in the shop have put together. Now as we move over, Zach here is going to show you how the steering wheel tilts and telescope, which is a really great feature when you're just getting comfortable in the coach. Also want to point out that on the steering column, you have your exhaust brake on and off. You have your cruise control on and off features. It's kind of not a big deal to most people, but to me it's really nice having an all leather wrapped steering wheel. It just gives you the real feel of a performance car. It's something that I've really enjoyed on this coach. Not only that, it's hard to show, but the visibility is just phenomenal in this coach. I swear I can see better out of this than I can my full-size pickup. Now as we move in on the equalizer system or the hydraulic jack leg system, you'll see where we put one of the mid-range focal speakers on this coach. When it comes to the auto leveling system, this is a one-touch system. When you get on site, you just push the auto level button and the hydraulic jacks come out and level the coach. One of the things that I really like about the Renegade is that it's a hydraulic down jack leg, and then it's hydraulic retract. So if you're ever out in soft ground and you push your jack leg down and it penetrates the ground, a lot of the other systems use a spring to pull the leg back. And there is a chance that the spring doesn't have enough power to pull the leg back out of the ground, and that's why I like full hydraulic systems. Another thing we're going to point out on this coach is it seemed ridiculous to me that when we pulled into campground, people would crawl under their coach and put a block of wood under the stiff leg. So at IWS, we went ahead and designed large feet that travel full time attached to the jack leg, so you don't have to get under the coach and put wood under the jack legs, and we'll go through that in the exterior video. Now we're going to move over and talk about the seats, and man, I just can't say enough good about these Flex Steel captain's chairs. We wrap both of the chairs in the Brisa distressed, or I guess the correct way to say it is in Bison Ultra Leather from the Brisa Distress collection. The warm tones of these seats match the soft and supple feel of them. They're just phenomenal. Somebody asked me the other day if we offered leather, and I said, well, yeah, but why? The new Ultra Leather fabrics, you don't stick to them when you're hot. They're a lot cooler on your body. They resist stain, and they're so unbelievably smooth and comfortable. I don't know why you would want to go to leather after experiencing these. Both of the chairs have movable and adjustable armrests. They're extremely easy to slide the chair forward and backward. Both of the chairs, as you can see here, pivot around and face inside of the cabin area. They both have full air ride on them. Several times we were putting in 10, 12-hour days driving down the highway chasing our son who plays football for the College of Idaho, and we would drive for 8 or 9 hours and we would get to our destination and get out and we're like, hey, we're still ready to go. We just weren't exhausted. It's something that you've got to experience driving a coach like this. It seems like your stress just melts away. You know, you sit up high, you can see way ahead, you can see traffic coming. It's comfortable, the mirrors are phenomenal, you have a great navigation system, a great sound system. It just, several times I know this summer when we were out in this coach, I looked at my wife and I said, you know, I guess there is life outside of work, and it's proof that all this hard work, there is a reward at the end, and driving this coach has been an absolute reward for us. Now we're going to make our way towards the back of the coach, and we're going to make a stop here at the bathroom. This coach has a mid-entry design bathroom on it. Some of the things that we did is we widened the vanity out to 29 inches. We also had Renegade installed drawers in the vanity. A lot of coaches don't have drawers, and we wanted some places, you know, to put extra things in it. They also installed floor level lighting, so if you get up at night to go into the restroom area, you can just have nice lower lighting. You're not waking everybody up in the coach. The full corner shower, you know, as I said, I'm 6 foot, 240 pounds. The interior height of this coach is 7 foot 9 inches, so there's lots of room inside of there. We went with the oil rub bronze. We really think it is a nice color. My wife really liked that the shower has a nice seat in it, has a nice glass wraparound doors on it. So this coach, the one thing that we didn't do on this coach is put in a washer and dryer, and there's a reason for that. When you build a coach, it's all about trade-offs. I tell everybody the first thing to do is find out what's important to you, and let's do that. So what was important to us is having a large toilet room. You know, traveling with college football players, they're big guys. We wanted them to be able to have a nice restroom in it. So we decided to make the toilet room longer and crowd into the area where we would normally have a washer and dryer. So you can see we have a little bit narrower cabinet. I believe it's about 17 inches wide, the linen cabinet. Then we also had Renegade put in a nice slide out hamper, because that's something people don't think about. You know, where are you going to put all your dirty clothes? And the craftsmanship on this stuff is it's just absolutely second to none. But I really wanted to explain our thought process behind not running a washer and dryer. As we pan around, you can see the padded walls we used on this, whereas the optional Vibe fabric, which is Renegade's upper end fabric, and we like it because it has a little bit of a texture to it. Really helps with soundproofing. That's another reason we did the spray foam insulation, is to help with the soundproofing so you can get a good night's sleep. Now as we moved into the toilet room, you can see we've equipped our coach with the all-electric macerator toilet system, full porcelain toilet. It's hard for you to see in here, but this bathroom is a little bit bigger than most. We also installed a nice overhead cabinet. One of the things we did when we moved or deleted the washer and dryers, we were able to put a larger vanity in here, which is real nice, so the kids can have their own sink for their own toiletries, so that they have their own area. We also did an undermount sink, so it's nice and easy to clean. We did a full width. Normally on a coach like this, you would see an angled medicine cabinet. We went ahead and did a full width again, so the kids could have more area. And if it's just his and hers, you'd have his and hers sinks, medicine cabinets, and bathrooms, and it's a lot more usable because we lengthened the space in the toilet room. It was just something that was really important to us. Now as we move into the master bedroom on this coach and we slide the pocket door open, it just reminds me instantly some of the little things, like on the pocket door. Renegade puts rare earth magnets in the pocket door, so when you slide it open, the magnets hold the door open. A lot of the older coaches that I've had, you used to have to put a snap around them. And if you forgot to do it, you'd turn the first corner and the door would come flying out and whack the wall. And I know some of you are laughing now because you've had it happen to you. And these are little touches that Renegade does that just really makes having a luxury coach like this, you just start to understand quality when you experience things like that. Now as you move around into the bedroom, you can see we've installed the ortho rest mini king bed in it. We also had his and hers nightstands, I've said in lots of videos. Now you'll notice on our coach we didn't do side windows on the slide out, and the reason we did that is when you put slide windows in there, the valances take up a lot of the counter space for the nightstands. And so again, these are things that were important to us. We also wanted nice accent lighting so we could have reading lights on it. I wish we could open the windows so you could see how beautiful it looks with the windows open, but when we're filming, we have to keep the dang slides down. As you can see, we had the generator start switch mounted beside the bed. On both sides of the bed, there's a 110 outlet and USB charger right beside each nightstand, so you've got a place to charge your cell phone up. Now as we turn around and look at the wardrobe closets, I really want to take a moment and talk to you because this is another really proud moment for me. We had our engineers here at IWS design this wardrobe slide, and we created all the drawings, and then we sent them off to Renegade, and they did everything that we asked for. What we did on this wardrobe slide is we wanted to put a counter underneath the TV so you'd have a place when you come in the evening to put your watch and your billfold, and my wife can put her purse or her makeup bag there. We also had a 32-inch TV put in there. And then you'll notice when we open the doors, you've got his and hers closets, and both of the closets have lights in them. It's just a nice little feature. You can also see that we put a 110 outlet in the back closet. All the drawers are dovetail construction with full slides with soft close features. You'll also notice that we use mesh instead of glass over the electronics back here because in this bedroom there's no air conditioning vent down there. As we pan around, you can see there's a full-length mirror. It's hard to show, but I believe there's 4, maybe 5 electrical 110 outlets in the bedroom. One of my favorite features in here is the ceiling fan, but this back vent that we put in the coach, it's at the very rearmost portion of the coach. And we did that for a purpose. In the evening, on a fall evening, you can open the window at the front of the coach and turn that fan on, and it brings cool air into the coach, and it brings it all the way across the bed and then exits the back of the coach. I also want to point out that we upgraded all the vents in this to the true max air vent. This isn't a plastic hood that goes over the top of the vent. It's kind of hard to describe. I guess you'd have to look it up on their website, but when it opens up, it kind of comes out almost like an accordion. And it allows you to be able to run the vents while you're driving down the road, but more importantly, you can use them in a rainstorm. Nothing more frustrating to me. When it's raining outside, I love the smell of it, and I like to be able to crack a window at the front, have a vent running, and kind of bring some of that fresh smell into the coach. With a typical vent, water gets down inside of it, and you can't have them open, but the way the Max Air work, it kind of shields itself from the rain so you can use it with the rain. And I know I'm going on and on, but there's just so many touches on this coach, and it's hard for people to understand how hard we truly work at covering every single aspect and every element of these coaches, from the ceramic floor to the counters to the countertops to the engine to the length of the hood to the emergency lights that we put on the coach. We tried to do every single element of this coach and get it as right as we possibly could. And I think the results speak for themselves. I feel like I'm just going on and on and on, so I'm going to let the video kind of just pan out and close out this coach. But I'm going to end this video like I do every video, and that is, I really want to thank you for your time today and for watching this video with me. I know it's pretty lengthy, and I can't wait to have you come by and visit us in person, or at least pick up the phone and give us a call. Thanks again for all your time.